Yo guys, what's going on? It's Flip here, and this is my tier list for Rainbow Six Siege, and this is a console tier list, keep in mind. And I'm just going to talk about the attackers. So while you can see the defender tier list there, please only comment on the attacker ones, because that's what I'm going to cover in this video for time limitations. I don't want to do both at once. It's too much talking. It's like 20 something minutes. I'll try and be quick. Okay, S being the best, C being the worst, this being my opinion. Thermite, good because he can breach reinforced walls. He's the only person who can do that with 2 exothermic charges. Now for gadgets, you can take the frag grenade or the breaching charge. Breaching charge allows for a double breach option. Frag grenade is just good for killing people. Recommend the 556 XI assault rifle and not his shotgun. Thatcher, best supporting op in the game. 3 EMP grenades, make sure you throw these before you die. Disables all enemy electronics, even the cameras the enemies can use. Temporarily disables pulse's heartbeat sensor. Blast radius will affect things through walls, so it's safe to throw these on walls where you know the enemy stuff is. With good reconnaissance, you can safely throw these at walls and they will go through walls and blow up the enemy gadgets, so you don't have to peek in and throw grenades and get shot in the face or have the ADS destroy them. And then I usually take flashbangs. I take the L85. The assault rifle choice is up to you. It's got 2 assault rifles. Let's move over to fuse. 2 cluster grenade charges. I take breaching charges. His weapon choices are LMG assault rifle or shield. I recommend the AK-12 assault rifle. Now with fuse, you really want to have a good understanding of the game when to use his ability. His ability shoots 5 little grenades in, and you want to make sure you're shooting them where the enemy is and when the enemy is distracted, so they're not as prepared to evade it. And maybe with some ADS is disabled by someone like Thatcher or Twitch. And then once he deploys his fuse or his cluster charge, another good thing to do is to have your team, get ready to peek, because the enemy's probably going to be running away from those if you fire them in a good spot, and you're going to get some kills. And for gadget, I take a breaching charge just to create your own distraction with fuse. Breach a window, fire a cluster charge. Let's move on to A tier sledge. Breaching hammer. Best breacher in the game. Quicker than a breaching charge. Safer. More uses. Quieter, which is helpful. Doesn't create smoke everywhere or dust. Can one-shot barbed wires. So if there's barbed wires everywhere, you don't have to melee it 3 times. You can just hit it with your hammer. To safely open a dangerous door, stand near the door where you can't get hit, start the swing, step in front of the door as the swing's finishing, and then get the hell out of the way. I recommend the L85 over the shotgun. Take the machine gun pistol with an ACOG scope if you don't play ACOG on your primary. Use it to win peeking battles for the long range, and use frag grenades because breaching charges on a guy with the breaching hammer is really stupid. It's the most pointless gadget choice ever. Okay, Ash, breaching launcher. 2 rounds, shoots like a grenade launcher, but acts like a breaching charge. Burrows into a surface, breaches it. There are some surfaces that only Ash can breach. She can breach trapdoors from below. She can go up the stairs and breach the opposing side wall that no one could actually walk over to and plant a charge on, and create a lot of sight lines that only Ash can create. She can also shoot a breaching charge into a deployable shield and blow it up. So if you know that there's an enemy dude just laying behind there, maybe don't scan him, shoot that at it, and then start shooting at where he was, and then boom, you got him, and he's wondering what's going on. I think that covers Ash. She has 1 armor, so be a little careful. She can't survive body shot firefights as well as other operators. Okay, Glaz, the sniper. Now Glaz at first didn't make sense to me. Like, why would there be a sniper in a close quarters combat game? Now his ability is just to put a scope, like a bigger scope on his weapon. So you take a regular scope. I recommend the green one because it gives you the best peripheral vision. And this dude's rifle will one-shot a lot of people close range with a body shot. Now you can use a lot of levels have like these ladders, climb onto other roofs, not in the main building where you can snipe into windows. That can be effective depending on the enemy spawn, but if they spawn somewhere like, let's say on Hereford base in the armory, you're not going to be doing any really outside sniping. You're going to be doing corner peeking, which he's really good at. He's really good at window peeking on rappelling because his sight gives him good vision with that red tint or whatever into the dark. Helps you see enemies better than normal if it's light outside and dark inside. He's a really good peeker, and I would say he's S tier on PC because it'd be easier to shoot his rifle at the head and at a running target, but still a very amazing operator. Also worth mentioning, his bullets go directly through the castle barricades and the plane windows. They will break the plane windows, so then the enemy can shoot out them, so you gotta know that. Let's go to B tier now. The top 6 up there are usually, I see most good teams and most of my teams play. We use 4 to 5 of those top 6. Now that's not saying these other ones aren't any good, it's just those ones I find are better. Sorry about that. That was like 5 minutes of me not moving my mouse, so I should hurry up. Okay, Twitch. Twitch is like a Thatcher that's harder to use and not as good in my opinion. I like her FAMAS F2 rifle. She also has a marksman rifle if you like sniping. Don't use the shotgun probably. Her FAMAS has a great fire rate. She's a 2 armor, 2 speed like Thatcher. But her main role is to disable electronics like Thatcher, but it's harder because her ability requires her full attention. Like she sits there on her little camera thing, or her whatever it is, her iPad or whatever it is, and she's driving her drone around. Now what's her drone like? Well, first of all, it's bigger and more obvious than the regular drone, and it can't jump, so it's an easy target. So you don't want to send this thing in when the enemy's just chilling waiting for something to do. You want to wait, you want to approach the enemy base with your team and wait for them to engage, and then you want to use your shock drone. You want to mark targets, taser them so they think they know they're spotted, they've gotten hit by something. It might force them to move to a less safe position. They might get shot while they're moving by your teammates, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. And you want to shoot the tasers. You have 15 taser shots, by the way, and only 1 shock drone, so it's really vital that you use it well. And you want to shoot out ADS, you want to shoot out mute signal jammers, batteries, all the stuff you can't see in the base. And then after your shock drone's used up, you go in with your FAMAS F2. You're just a person with a gun and you try and get kills. Now we'll talk about the 2 shield guys, Blitz and Montagne. And at first I thought Blitz was much better, but after me and my friends did some testing and I found out how many spots you could shoot at Blitz when he's looking at you, and how weak the range is on his flash shield. Like, the dude has to be really close to you to get blinded. But I mean, if he can get close to you and blind you, he can get like 3 people, but you shouldn't let that happen. Both shield guys are very, very vulnerable to nitro cells. Now, nitro cells, if thrown at them and detonated, the shield doesn't block it at all. You can be Montagne and have the full body shield deployed, and it doesn't block an explosive, it blocks bullets. Now, you can even headshot Blitz when he's crouching if you're above him and he's like looking straight. You can see the top of his head, so Blitz can get hit in a lot of spots. And he only has 1 pistol choice, and both of these 2 shield operators have smoke grenades, so I wouldn't recommend those. So what I would recommend is the other gadget. In Blitz you have breaching charges, and on Montagne you have flashbangs. Now let's talk about Montagne. His shield, their shields are the same and normally, but when you hit Montaigne's ability, he stands up and has a full body shield. He has more movement than Blitz and more body coverage with his shield. The only thing is he can't do anything except walk in and block stuff. Like, he's just like this armored frontal dude that just walks in like a bulldozer and tries to soak bullets up. Now, he can get nitroed through that, and he can get shot in the side or back like anyone, so you gotta be really careful with your Montagne positioning, and he is the most teamwork reliant op in the game. Like, you need someone to come in with you, you need Montagne to mark targets, or else he's just a waste. You need to play him with a teammate who's going to help you get kills. Now we'll get to the last character, who unfortunately is the worst in my opinion. That's IQ, who I really liked a lot when I started playing. I like her weapon selection, I like her AUG too, I liked her character design, but her gadget is really, really weak. It's an electronics detector, so it's kind of like the role of Thatcher / Twitch. Except the only problem is you should know where everybody's stuff is anyway, and when you scan stuff it doesn't tell you what exactly it is. So you see a bunch of things, you're like, okay, there's a bunch of muters and their cameras and their shock wires and all that crap, and nitro cells in their base and the bombs, but you don't know which is which. Now, like, the only time I'd say that I'd pick IQ now is if like the enemy team had this really good roaming pulse, because IQ can detect pulses, heartbeat sensor, because it is an electronic, and if she sees a moving signal and it's not your Blitz or one of your drones, then it's the enemy pulse, so you could find him with that. So hopefully I didn't take too long on this. That was my quick summary of the attackers and what I think about them. Thanks for listening, and please comment only on attackers here if you're going to comment, and I will do a defender video next.